Red.
I'm up.
I'm up.
I'm up. I'm fucked up, but I'm up.
RPG, Mike 12! Second floor! Stay away from the fucking car!
Friendly's coming in. Friendly's coming in. Everybody, light that building the fuck up!
Black, on me. Tango's by the building, far end parking lot.
They're flanking.
Moving! Right there, right there! Coming up the wall, right side!
This is a review of Battlefield 3 for the PlayStation 3, also available on Xbox 360 and PC. I won't be reviewing the multiplayer, so this is just a review of the single player campaign. There is a good reason why I won't be reviewing the multiplayer, and that is because I actually bought the game. I got it for $9.99 and I've now sold it for more than double what I paid for it. So rather than activating the online pass and then playing the game for an hour or two and then not going back to it, which is what I generally do with online multiplayer games, I decided to leave the online pass intact and sell it on for profit. So that's the reason why. So this game is developed by DICE and published by EA. Like I say, released for the PS3, which is the version I've got here, the Xbox 360. The Xbox 360 version comes on 2 discs. Then the PC version, I believe, is only available for download. This version comes on 1 Blu-ray disc. So it's a sequel to Battlefield 2. Now I can't remember off the top of my head whether I've played Battlefield 2 or not. I think I have. So that was a pretty cool game. I don't believe that had any sort of campaign in it whatsoever. So this isn't part of the Bad Company franchise, so it's just worth noting that. The campaign takes place in 2014, so you know it's only a couple of years away, and it's not too far in the future to be completely ridiculous. So this uses the Frostbite 2 engine, which EA seem to be shouting about. So that means you've got a greater sort of level of detail, let's say, with the destruction of buildings and scenery. However, it's not like the Bad Company franchise where you can literally just level, you know, everything. So the lighting and effects with this Frostbite engine also look great. However, I did find sometimes that it could be a hindrance. Glare from fires and a particular level where you're in a car park and there's car lights shining at you and you just can't see where you're shooting. There's various other effects along those lines, you know, the usual rain, water effects, sun glare, all them sort of things. It does look great, but like I say, it can be a hindrance. Also, I did notice that many games, when you play a darker level, they will allow you the use of night vision. Now there is one level I can remember where it was dark and the only night vision you had was actually on your sniper rifle. I think the reason why they've done that is, like I say, they're shouting about this Frostbite 2 engine, night vision sort of wouldn't give you the same impact, so it's sort of, the impression I'm getting is that you wanted to see all these effects and what have you. So the game, like I've mentioned, Frostbite 2 engine, all these little effects and whatnot, so the game is highly detailed. The game's actually banned in Iran for sale because there was sort of outcry in Iran with the details of some of the locations around there. The game is only 720p, but you expect that, most games are like that. So I've mentioned basically the graphics and that I'm reviewing the single player campaign. Now the single player is yet more of the same of, you know, games like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, the last Medal of Honor game, you know, all them sort of games, you know, linear missions and storyline that I won't really go into because it's just so sort of cliched, but I just didn't really follow it. I just skipped all the cutscenes because it was just, you know, I've heard it all before and it was just pretty boring. So gameplay is solid and predictable, same as, you know, games like Call of Duty, I mentioned Medal of Honor, you know, all the big military shooters, you know what to expect with them. So there's also vehicles in the game, and this was one of the things that BattleField, the series, sort of introduced to the first person market. By the way, it did it so well. In a single player campaign, you know, there's a level where you're driving tanks. I'm not a big fan of these sort of scenes in games because I feel like if I wanted to play as a tank, I'd buy a tank simulator. And the reason why there's not that many tank simulators out there is because driving around in tanks shooting things sounds better than it actually is when you play it in a game. There's also a fighter jet scene that looks absolutely great. You start off on the carrier and then you know, you're looking around and the sea looks awesome, and then you get in your fighter jet, really detailed, and then it just looks really awesome when you actually take off and your fighter jet starts banking and whatever. But I found that part of the game was a bit tedious because it's sort of on rails. I say sort of, it was on rails, and you didn't really feel like you were having much input to the game, you know, input to the outcome. So for me it was a good experience because, you know, like I say, it looked awesome, but I didn't really feel like I was interacting with the game as much as I could have if they'd have changed that a little bit. So that's all really I've got to say about the single player. Now obviously I know that the game is a multiplayer game, that's what's selling it. So I don't want to, you know, say the game is a bad game. I actually enjoyed it, playing the single player campaign, but like I say, there's no point really following the story because it's just the same old stuff that you've heard, you know, same old stereotypes and cliches you get with all these military shooters.
Несколько мертвых полицейских, ерунда по сравнению с этим.
Соломон, долбанный псих. Даже после того, что случилось, все равно хочет реванш.
Ну, он может быть психом, но точно знает, чего он хочет для своей цели. Ты помнишь, последний раз мы здесь были по Триумфальной арке, могилы неизвестного солдата. Помнишь, что ты сказал? Что если бы были люди осознали, какого воздействия мы оказываем на мир. Да, сегодня несколько человек узнают о том, что мы сделали для человечества.
It's solid, and obviously you do get the added bonus of the multiplayer. So, like I say, my reason for not reviewing the multiplayer side of it is because I'm not activating the online pass. This game sold for more than double what I paid for it, which says, you know, says a lot because there's a lot of copies out there being shifted out. I managed to get it cheap, and then I've managed to sell it for double the price after Christmas. So I'm very happy with the game, and I'd definitely go out and get it if I was into the multiplayer.
What was that? Someone needs to tell the OD to blow those ammo dumps further away.
Quake tremor. We're like 90 clicks from a major fault line.
Big cross street here. Hella exposed.
Wait, what? Something coming. Back. Wait for him to pass. Let's move. Crossing tubes.
Black. Mankiewicz take the door on the right.
Okay, moving.
Get the lead out, Black. Now!
Not a single civvy. I don't like this shit.